So, all right there, yeah. Let's give a big round of applause. Yeah. All right, for little Jenny Rita, yeah. Whoa, all right there, Jenny. Whoa, I say that was so cool and everything that little Jenny Rita shared with us, that little story about the cat. Whoa, that was an amazing story and everything. I could have written one better myself. But, and I just wanted to let you really know that it's so great to have all of you guys here, everything like that. I mean, like, here we are at the 4th International Young Authors Conference. Whoa, go figure. We got a whole evening of that great kind of stories and everything there, like Jenny Rita, all these young authors. They're going to kind of share with you all these great stories they've been writing. Jesus, we suck at writing so much. And we're going to just like let you guys. Yeah, in fact, in a moment, we're going to have another great story for you. Yeah, this one's coming up from a little guy named Henry Nebish, and he's going to tell you this little story about, like, about a cat. Well, I don't know what the deal is or something. There's some kind of theme for the evening or something, you know, cats, tigers, lions, maybe stuff like that. Jeez, if they would just let me write this. So, like, I love all these. Oh, I think Henry's coming here now. Oh, let's hear it for little Henry. Never give him a big round of applause. Always, I have been fascinated by the quickness and speed of cats. I have been totally arrested by that oh so familiar crouch of a stalking feline. The hungry intensity in her eyes as she burns her gaze on the subject of her sight. The startling side-to-side body shift beginning in the hind quarters, quickening fur, tracing to the head, alert with focused anticipation. The cat's contemplation of making game of its prey. The quick dart of a blurred phantom image sprung upon the unsuspecting guest. A pounce, a bounce, a dribble game of high jump tease, then stillness. Disinterested in the lack of action, trophy left behind. The feline preens with tongue, tongue, tongue. Tongue soaked fur sponge. Satisfied indeed. so we gotta go through like a whole evening of these stories and everything. But I mean, jeez, I could tell a story like sure. I mean, there's nothing to it. I mean, you know, just let the story kind of, you know, come up. And I'm going to try to tell you guys a story about a cat. Okay, I'll stay with the team. Okay, so like, well, yeah, I got one. All right. So like, I was 9 years old at best. Yeah, I was playing in the yard on a beautiful, beautiful spring day there. Yeah. I know. I was playing in the yard on a beautiful spring day. The air crisp with the fresh cut grass of the first spring mowing. That's all right. Just like the day, everything was new. I mean, the trees was all budding. Flowers was popping up all over. I laid down in the fresh cut clippings, listening to the sounds of my neighborhood. I could hear the sound of my father in the garage, cleaning off the lawnmower blade, plotting its next arch rival conquest. I could hear the Kirby vacuum as it was sucking the tainted dust out of the living room carpet. I closed my eyes. My hearing more acute in this sun-drenched eyelid pseudo-darkness, cast in peach-pink hues. I stretched to hear everything. Everything. I could hear it all. The sounds, like the sound of the wind as it caressed my fallen body. I could hear the hum of a passing plane as it passed into like distant memories of all kinds of passings. Kind of like all these passings blended together into some archetypal memory of all my 9 springs. I mean, it was like I knew this place. I knew these smells. I knew those sounds. This was my home. I opened my eyes and sat up, and I stared in fascination. A newly arrived robin was pecking up seed gift left by my father. Smokey, my cat, sat in crouched intensity, watching, observing, summoning decision. Slowly she moved to stealth like a little closer. Side shifted her hips. A whoosh! A blur of gray levitated into the air. A pounce! A shriek of inhuman whistle as I watched the brown V-like animation of the robin fly overhead, safely out of the reach of an invisible cat trap snare. I glanced down at Smokey just in time to catch an appealing stare and to hear the cry of a proud but disappointed hunter. Moments later found the robin back at its feast. Smokey, eyeing it wantonly. Before me, the cat could fly. I decided to help. Modeling its stealth, I picked up the cat. I was no longer by touching the cat. My hands, my body, my spirit, my prey was one cat. All vision left, except for that darting, bobbing ball of brown feathered fluff. The cat, too, saw nothing else as it stared at its once lost chastening. Amazement must have filled the hunter as it glided through the air by its conspiring catapult and landed deftly upon its victim. No bounce, no pounce, no dribble game of high jump tease. Just stillness. I stared at the lifeless bird. I couldn't fathom the quickness, the immediacy of the loss. I stared at that lifeless bird. My father was yelling something, running over, having seen, trying to arrive, but arriving deed done. I stared at that lifeless bird. My father was yelling something. I was being taken up into my house, led away from my archetypal spring, taken into my room. I sat down on my bed. I lay back. I closed my eyes. But in my mind's eye, all I could see was that lifeless bird. Sounds. No more smells. No more spring. I was no longer home. People come to the theater for lots of different reasons. One of the reasons that people come to the theater is because after a hard week of work, they come to relieve their stress. Oh my God. Well, that's why I'm here. You see, I'm an actor. And well, I'm here to help you relieve your stress. Hey, I forgot to tell you guys something really cool. This is my special invention. I call it my super duper stress reducer. I thought of that all by myself. And you know this part of it right here, this part, this tank, it's mine. No, I mean, I bought it. Yeah, I actually bought it at like this really cool place called Liquid Carbonics. That's like a welding place, you know, where all these big welder type dudes go. I didn't care. I walked inside. I looked up at the guy at the counter and I said, "Sir, I want a tank of gas." And he looked down at me and he said, "So?" And I said, "Well, I want a tank of gas." He said, "And what do you want with the tank of gas?" And I said, "Well, I'm an actor, and I'm going to use it in one of my shows. And he's looked back at me, and he sold it to me. That's why it's... and it's really a great tank. And well, the invention's kind of really cool because you see, well, it's got these two... This is the collection. And well, as stress. Can you see okay over there? Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. That guy who sold me the tank and everything, well, he told me this, and I gotta tell you something very important about it. Do you see this right here? This right here? You see that nut right there and this whole thing right here? Well, this is called a regulator valve. And what it does, it regulates the amount of air coming up from the tank going into the collection. And well, that guy at the counter, he told me something really important. He said, you see that nut? If you don't really tighten that nut down really well, and for some reason the main valve should break open and all of the gas try to rush out at one time, this puppy could fly. I looked at him and I said, wow. So you better believe it. I really just totally tightened it down. You know, I think I forgot to tell you guys something really important. I don't know, but, well, something about theater that maybe you don't know. You see, sometimes theater can be dangerous. And especially for the actor. So, I want you to know, I'm trying to take every precaution. Well, make sure that... you know... I never knew it would get so big. You know, I'm kind of thinking right now, well, maybe right now would be a really good time to thank you all for coming. You see, I figured out what stress is. I figured it out. You see, all stress is, all it is, well, it's just anticipation. But that's all stress really is. It's just the anticipation. That's all it ever was. Anticipate. Woo! Woo! That's all stress is. Just anticipate. That's all.